In the last class, or biology class, we started talking about the kingdom Plantae, plant kingdom. And we said that the kingdom Plantae, the plant kingdom, is divided into 3 divisions. We have division Talophyta, division Bryophyta, and division Tracheophyta. So we are done Talophyta, we are done Bryophyta. Today now we are going to Tracheophyta. So members of this division are called tracheophytes. The word tracheophyte comes from the word trachetes. And trachetes is a component of xylem tissue. It's a component of xylem tissue, which is a conducting tissue. So why are they tracheophytes? They have conducting tissues. Such as xylem and phloem. Such as xylem. The xylem is what the tracheophytes use to draw water and soil nutrients from the ground and take it up their body. That's the xylem tissue. That xylem is also known as wood. Then the phloem tissue is what they use to carry out what we call translocation of food. After they carry out photosynthesis, there is a need for the food to move from the area where the food has been formed to every other part of the plant where the food is needed. And that process of transportation is called translocation. It takes place inside another conducting tissue called phloem tissue. So plants that have the phloem tissue and these xylem tissues are called tracheophytes. Now, this division Tracheophyta is subdivided again. The division Tracheophyta is subdivided into the following 2 superclasses. 2 superclasses. We have Pteridophyta and we have Spermatophyta. So there are 2 superclasses under the division Tracheophyta. We have superclass Pteridophyta, you silent the P, and the superclass Spermatophyta. Now let's look at the superclass Pteridophyta. Members of this class, members of the superclass Pteridophyta, they are called pteridophytes. Common examples. Common members are fern plants. So these fern plants, also have 2 generations, such as the sporophytic generation, which is diploid. Sporophytic generation, which is a diploid. Diploid in the sense that they have complete number of chromosomes, which is 2n. They have a sporophytic generation and gametophytic generation. Gametophytic generation, which is haploid. So a gamete, a sperm and an egg has half of the total number of chromosomes in the body, while the sperm also has half of the total number of chromosomes. When they come together, n plus n will form 2n, which is complete number of what? Chromosomes. Now, that's not our business here. Then let's talk about the sporophytes. The sporophytes of Fern. Let's discuss the sporophyte of Fern. So now, sporophyte of Fern. So the sporophyte of Fern, this is the body parts of Fern that reproduces asexually. Reproduces asexually by spore formation. They reproduce asexually. I don't say asexually. The ability to give rise to young ones of their own kinds without fusion of male and female gametes, but rather they produce what? Spore. So the germination of the spore, produced by the sporophyte gives rise to the gametophyte. So the sporophyte reproduces asexually to produce the gametophyte, while the gametophyte reproduces sexually to produce the sporophyte. This is clear alternation of generation. We call it alternation. Two generations are alternating each other. The sporophyte produces the gametophyte, and the gametophyte produces the sporophyte. So the two generations are what? Alternating. So that is that. So the spore of Fern is produced and released by a spore case. There's a spore case called sporangium. The plural form of sporangium is sporangia. So that is where spores are produced. Spores are produced by a spore case called the sporangia. And the plural form of sporangium is what? Sporangia. So, yes, then the sporangia. The sporangium now is held down by a pin called indusium. The pin that holds it down on the sporophyte is called indusium. So a group of indusia. The plural form of indusium is indusia, singular. Indusium. Is called a soros, plural, sori. Okay. Now, the what am I saying here? You have something like this. It's a Laginella species of fern. You have something like this. That is a rhizoid. So here you have something. You have something like this. So this is the sporophyte. The sporophyte is leafy, unlike the bryophyte, in which the sporophyte is not leafy. There is the gametophyte. So this is this group now. This is sori. Sori. So inside we have indusium, under which we have the sporangium. So that is it. Now that is the sporophyte. And let's talk about the gametophyte. Gametophyte of fern. Gametophyte of fern. The gametophyte, first, look at the name, gamet. The gametophyte is the parts of the seedless plants which reproduces sexually to produce the sporophytes. That's alternation of generation, like I said. The gametophyte reproduces sexually and produces the sporophyte. So the gametophyte, as the name implies, the gametophyte has male and female reproductive organ. The male reproductive organ is called archegonium. Archegonium. Plural. Archegonia. Archegonia. So that's the or megaspores. Megaspores. So the female reproductive organ, because they are bigger than the male, they are called megaspores, or you call them archegonium. While the male reproductive organ of the fern gametophyte is called antheridia. Antheridia, singular. Antheridium. Antheridium. That is singular form of antheridia. So that is that. Now, so the antheridium produces the male gamete called sperms or anterozoid. Call them anterozoids or sperms. While the archegonium produces the female gamete called egg or ovum, plural, ova. Now take note of one thing: water is required. Water is required. Why? For the sperms to swim towards the egg and fertilize it. For the sperm to swim to and fertilize it. So they need it. So you can now see when fertilization now takes place, the zygote that will be formed now will grow. So we have the gametophyte. The gametophyte of Fern is heart-shaped. That's the shape of heart. Heart-shaped. It's heart-shaped. So unlike bryophytes, now sporophyte of Fern is dominant over is gametophyte. Why? Because the sporophyte of Fern is green, leafy, and it carries out photosynthesis. To make his own food. Unlike the case of bryophyte, it's a gametophyte that is green that makes his own food. Here now is sporophyte. So let's look at the diagram of the heart shape of the gametophytes of Fern. These are rhizoid to absorb water from the soil. This is megaspore. And these are microspore. So that's to tell you, where can you find Fern? Fern is vascular plant, so it can be established on the ground. So what I have here is the diagram of the ventral view of Fern gametophyte. Once a ventral view, what do we mean? We mean the chest view, the front view of it. So that's what we have there. So let's look at the life cycle of Fern plants, showing that it undergoes alternation of generation. We are starting with the gametophyte. That is like a heart. That has a heart shape. So let's look at that. The gametophyte is like a heart. Is the rhizoid, is the megaspore, while these are the microspore. So if the megaspore produces egg, while the microspore produces sperm. Now take note of this. This is gametophyte or protalos. Plural, protali. Protalos or protali. Now, the gametophyte is also known as protalos. The plural form of protalos is protali. So, the egg is being produced by the megaspore, while the sperm is produced by the microspore. So, what then happens when the sperm, don't forget, egg is N, sperm is also N. When they come together, fertilization takes place. And when that fertilization takes place, it is not the gametophyte, it will form a zygote. When the sperm and the egg meet, then that zygote grows and forms the sporophytes. That is rhizoid. There's a question we're going to see later. It says, which of the following is common to both the gametophyte and the sporophyte of fern? Answer is rhizoid. Both of them have rhizoid that they use to do what? To absorb water and nutrients from the soil. This is sporophyte. And this sporophyte is 2N. Don't forget, as N combines with N, the zygote is what? Is 2N. And that 2N is what? It is sporophyte. So the sporophyte, when it grows, it produces spores. Asexually. Spores. And when these spores, they are carried by wind. When it gets to a place where the environmental condition is favorable, it germinates. And when it germinates, it does not produce sporophyte again, it produces the gametophyte. So what you have here is a life cycle of fern. So, and the spores now are what? They are also 2N. So you have N here. So only the gametophyte now is what? Is N. So this is the life cycle of fern, showing alternation of generation. Now let's look at these jam drills on what you have learned about fern. Number one question, which is JAM 1990, question 6. It says, the spores of fern, they are dispersed by what? Wind. Number 2, which of the following correctly summarizes the life cycle of a fern plant? A, spore, protalos, thalamus, sporangium. B, male and female gametes, gametagia, zygospores, sporangium, spores. C, spores, thalamus, spermatozoa plus ovum, sporangium. Then D, protalos, spermatozoid, egg cells, leafy plant, sporangium. What is the answer? No, answer is D. Now look at D. The protalos is this is the protalos, the female, the gametophyte. It produces what? After the protalos, we have spermatozoid. It produces the microspores, which is I, produces spermatozoid, which is S. Then the megaspore, which is these big ones, they produce what? They produce what? The egg cells. And when these egg cells meet together, they fertilize each other and form zygote. And that zygote grows and forms a leafy plant, which is the sporophyte. Then the sporophyte will later produce sporangium, which is the spore case that produces spore. And later, the spores, when they germinate, they form the gametophyte back and the cycle continues. So answer is what? Is D. Answer is D. Then number 3, in fern, the sporophyte does what? What does the sporophyte do? A, the sporophyte develops from a haploid zygote. It would have been correct if this haploid is not there, because zygote is diploid. When male and female, male gamete is haploid, female gamete is haploid. When haploid plus haploid combine, they form diploid. So that zygote is diploid. So, but when the zygote germinates, it forms the sporophyte. So it is that haploid that spoiled that answer. Option B. We are talking. Don't forget, we are referring to the word sporophyte. The sporophyte reproduces what? Sexually to produce spore. No. If this sexual is not there, it would have been correct. Yes, the sporophyte produces spore, but by asexual reproduction. Now, the sporophyte is haploid. No, the sporophyte is diploid, because it is formed from the zygote. That is also so. D, which is the answer. The sporophyte is diploid and independent of the gametophyte. Yes, it's not independent of the gametophyte. I've told you before now that the sporophyte is leafy and it is green. It carries out photosynthesis. It is in bryophyte that the gametophyte is dominant. So here now it is sporophyte that is dominant. We are asked to use this protalus or gametophyte to answer question 4 and 5. Don't forget, this small thing, which is Roman figure 1, is a microspore, which is also known as the antheridia, that produces the spermatozoid or the antherozoid. Then these bigger ones, which are not labeled, they are the megaspore that produce the female reproductive organ which is also known as ategonium, that produces what? The female gamete. Then this is the rhizoid. So they say the structure labeled II and III respectively are what? II are the what? The microspore, which are the male reproductive organ. While III are the what? The rhizoid. And the answer is what? D. Answer is D. D. You say D. Is it D? B. Male organs and rhizoid. Male organs and rhizoid. So then question 5 says in fern, the structure above, this structure, the whole structure now is equivalent to what? A, is it a zygote? No. This is gametophyte. It's equivalent to the gametophyte of most plants. Gametophyte. That is the protalus. That's answer. Which answer? Gametophyte of most. That is option B. So that is that. Let's see some other questions. So these are other questions. Question C says, a water medium is necessary for fertilization in what? A, fungi. B, conifers. C, ferns. Answer is what? Ferns. So the sperm needs to swim towards the egg inside the water. So water is required. Alternation of generation, alternation of sexual and asexual mode of reproduction is found in where? A, blue-green algae. B, euglena. C, fern. D, maize. What's the answer? Line now. Fern. It's either fern or bryophyte or moss plant. That's where alternation of generation takes place. Then the dominant phase in the life cycle of fern is the what? The dominant phase that does not, that has chlorophyll, can carry photosynthesis by itself. That is sporophyte. Sporophyte. That's the dominant phase. I told you, sporophyte is dominant in fern, while gametophyte is dominant in moss. Take note of that. Number 9, in bryophyte, sex organs are produced where? Sex organ. Male and female gamete, where are they produced? Gametophyte, that is C. Then the last question, alternation of generation is a feature shown where? Moses. If Moses is not there, fern will be the answer. So that is the end of the biology class for today. So God bless you.